Hey, collective, I just wanted everybody to see my little buddies who are here checking up on me. They knew it was lights, camera, action time, so they wanted to make sure I was okay. I was ready for the job, so. Yeah, and the squirrels came down here and they were eating all my grub earlier. So these little mooches bleed me dry here with all my resources, aren't ya? Come on, you can have it. I laid it down for you. Anyway, I hope everybody else is doing well out there. Having a hard time speaking. Yeah, the sun's in my eyes. It's a beautiful, blustery day. So as intense as that sun is, it's nice and cool at the same time. That's why I got this extra shirt on right now. So, you guys trying to outflank me or what, huh? It's nice to be loved, even if it's just a bunch of friggin' geese. On that subject, I wanted to thank everybody who's been commenting and stuff too. You know, I've been trying to keep up on it the best I can. And I don't have a tremendous amount of, subscribers or anything like that yet. And that's fine. Like I said, if it's meant to blow up, it'll blow up. And it'll blow up on its own time. I just got this station started, and then everything fell out from underneath me at the very same time. So I'm just trying to be consistent and show up every day. And I hope you guys will, become part of my little family and everything else, so that you guys get along. Nipped them right in the ass. Anyways, yeah, so just hope that we'll get to know each other. You guys get to know each other out there too and stuff, I mean, we're all basically seeking, and nobody better to have support from people who are in a very similar mindset as you. We all have differences, of course, but we can all learn from each other too. So, be open to that. We're all here for a reason. And we may not understand it. It may be different from the other person, sure, but there's a reason why you're here, not somewhere else. And I just wanted you all to know that I appreciate you very much for showing up. All right, so let's go ahead and recap the energy that we pulled for yesterday. I pulled it all for the entire week yesterday instead of Sunday, because Sunday I would just say I was indisposed. I couldn't get here, so I had a lot of things going on and just wasn't able to do it. So I made up for it yesterday. So the overall energy is that of Fehu, which is the goddess Freya's room, but it was in reverse. So the overall energy for today, the pre-Tuesday pull, is Fehu in reverse, and it stands for, of course, Goddess Freya, but it also stands for greed, loss, money issues, poverty, failure, disappointments, arguments, loss of property, or self-esteem, burnout, cowardice, stupidity, slavery, and bondage. Now keep this in mind. This energy may not be speaking of you specifically. It could have somebody else that's in your sphere of influence. It could even be somebody that you're fighting against in a court battle. Okay? Which brings me to the room, which is the overall energy for the entire week, and that is Gibo. Now remember, Gibo is it looks like an X, right? I always tell you it's like X marks the spot of a treasure on a treasure map. Because it is the gifting room. It's a very positive room. It's about reciprocity, give and take, okay? It talks about giving offerings. It talks about the same thing in terms of a partnership, even a love. In fact, it talks about divine unions, divine counterparts and so on. So, love, fortune, generosity, balance, possible contracts, personal relationships and partnerships. So as you can see, the energy for today contradicts the energy overall for the week. So this is, again, another thing that's leading my gut to feel that I'm right in this, that this is actually speaking not of you, the viewer, unless you are a cross-watcher, a spy, so to speak, and you're trying to figure out what's going on with your particular situation secretly, instead of trying to be open and learn and actually see what you can do in order to utilize this energy for your own self-edification. Well, this may be speaking about you if you're one of those people who likes to move in the shadows and so on. Okay? So the positive energy is for my collective. I feel it and I know it is about me. So I can easily also believe what my gut is telling me, and that it is predominantly for those of you who are out there viewing with a good heart, clear conscience, a light heart, light as a feather, so to speak. Now, we may not all be there yet. Sure, we have a lot of work to do, and that typically comes from the Egyptian Book of the Dead and things of that nature, where your heart is weighed against a feather. And you get there by doing the right thing, regardless of the situation. It's not easy to do. And you're tested constantly to, see what kind of a person you are, the level of integrity that you actually embody, and so on. And keep in mind, we are never alone. Even in our most secluded moment, there are always eyes upon you. Keep that in mind. Spirit, your ancestors, the Most High, and of course sometimes the Most Low, they're all watching, and observing. So give them something to see. Show them how powerful you can be. That's what being a Viking is all about, after all. All my Viking and Vikingettes who are out there, you got to be badass, to walk this walk. It's not just about going out there and being good, of course, is part of it. It is. But not being anybody's doormat. And when the time comes and you have to stand your ground, you roar like the frickin' lion and lionesses that you all are out there. You kick ass, you take names, and you're doing it for the Most High. You're doing it for your ancestors. You're doing it for yourself. Okay? Now, that only happens when they push well beyond the limitations, I'm sure, for most of you. All right, so those are the two energies conflicting. One for you, that's the positive, and I'm not just saying that because I want you to feel good. I'm saying because I truly feel that, and if I didn't, I would tell you, okay? The other energy that we have, which was also positive for yesterday, the overall energy was Tiwas. Now, Tiwas is the god Tyre's energy, okay? It's his rune, and he is the god of justice, fairness, righteousness, and war, of course. So, his rune embodies those types of attributes: discipline, duty, responsibility, or being a warrior, victory, sacrifice, courage, leadership, authority, rationality, knowing one's strengths, self-sacrifice, and even victory in legal matters. There you go. And we had all four gods who are represented by the rune specifically show up for us this week. We had, of course, like I said, the goddess Freya. We had Tyre show up. We had Odin show up. And we had Thor show up. The only one we didn't have show up was Freyr, which is the brother of Freya. The twins, basically. They were Veneers. And they went over there, something like captives in a sense, after the great war between the gods, in the upper worlds and so on. So, and the Veneer goddess Freya married Odin and taught him magic and so on. And they passed down those attributes down to us. So magic is real. It's just not what a lot of people think it to be. Okay? So mean, you're doing some form of manifestation or magic every time that you say something, every time that you think something, and you have a very strong opinion on that something, or a lot of emotion, to be more specific, on that something. That's magic. Use it for good and not for evil, because again, there are universal laws. Religions are based around these things. Laws of physics are catching up with these written laws of the universe, which proves, of course, that somebody had to impose those laws, to make them what they are, whatever that may be in your own opinion. So the law of reciprocity is one of them. Given it shall be given unto you in good measure, right, as the Bible says. Okay, we also have the law of reciprocity. These are also hermetic laws and principles too. And you can look those up online if you're not sure what that means. Okay? So we also have the law of conservation of energy, another law of physics. For every action is an equal and opposite reaction. We call that karma in the spiritual world. If you put out negativity, what do you think you're going to get back? Something positive? No, you may get the illusion of that positivity for a short while. Source may actually allow you to have a certain amount of victories to see just how far you're willing to go. And if you keep pushing and pushing at the expense of everything and everybody else around you just to get your way, or just to have a little bit of something materialistic in this world, you're going to lose it all. And this I'm saying to the people I know that are watching me, who are lurking in the shadows. I know you watch me every day, hidden accounts, and everything else. I know that. And I sometimes speak for you too. I speak to you. Because while you still have breath, there's still hope for change. You persist, you continue doing the same shit day after day, you're going to keep getting the same results. And after all, what is the definition of insanity if not that? Don't you see the things you've been doing are insane? Try doing something different and see what happens. You never know, unless you try, right? All right, so that's the overall energy for today. So like I've gotten in the custom of doing, I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards in the tarot deck to give us an overall feeling of the energy that's available out there for us today. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and expand upon that with the runes. And although I said I was going to do it, I totally spaced out yesterday. I'm introducing a 3rd oracle card or deck to our daily, look into our energy and so on. And that's the spirit animal world. I love animals, and many people who have good hearts are drawn to them, and animals are drawn to them. But they also have a long spiritual heritage and connection with many, especially the indigenous tribes, aboriginal tribes, paganistic beliefs. So, and I truly believe that I have the spirit of animals, certain specific animals that look after and guide me as well. So I wanted to introduce that, since one of my, collective had asked me about that, and wanted me to possibly, implement that. And I thought it was a great idea, because I believe that there is truths found in every system to some degree. Even the most arcane, the most occultic, deeply dark ones have some truths. Okay? We just have to discern the difference between chaff and the wheat. What's true, what's not, what's subterfuge. Excuse me. What's out there to, if you will, lead us astray. It's not an easy task. This journey it requires a great deal of us, on a lot of levels. But it helps us to become the best version of ourselves, and that's what it's all about, in my opinion. And I have to say that because I have, like most people in the world of spirit, have very little that I can say to prove that other than the results. So, all right, let's cut the deck. What is the energy for today for the collective, please? And thank you. All right. So, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is gaining new skills or knowledge. That's part of why you're here. Education, learning, mastery, and dedication. Like I said before, I'm always learning. There's not a day that goes by I am not learning something. Okay? Now the top card, Hierophant. Continuing exactly on that particular mindset of learning and so on. This talks about basically like religious organizations, but it could also talk about other types of organizations too. Talks about morality, traditions, groupthink, mostly religion, and institutions. So this would be like the Pope versus, like Christ. Two completely opposite ways of thinking and doing things. So, I know some people believe the Pope is God on earth or something of that nature. I forget, but and I don't want to crack on my brothers and sisters who are Catholic. It's not what this is about. It's the institution I refer to. It's not the people that are practicing. There are good people found everywhere in every religious belief or non-belief for that matter. I just don't understand how people can be in this world and not see that there is something that we would call spirit. How you can look at the world and how you can see how everything is perfectly aligned to make life even possible and say that there's nothing. That's just me. I'm just thinking aloud. What do you think? All right, can I get another energy, please, for today? First one, of course, is Major Arcana card, so that's a very powerful one. One more. All right, so we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay? Two of Pentacles deals with, again, finding balance, harmony, prioritization, time management, and multitasking. Now, balance is also found when we're looking at the overall energy for the week, Gibo. That is one of the actual bullet points for that particular rune. So this is very much in keeping for the overall energy of the week and what the energy that is being belayed to us in the form of the Hierophant. Okay. One more energy for the collective, please, for the week. For today specifically. Tuesday, the 8th. Thank you. One more energy, please, for the 8th. Today. Thank you. For the collective. One more energy. Okay, one more. Thank you. Another major arcana. The Tower. Excellent. Now, why is that excellent? Well, it does say things such as chaos that brings sudden change, right? Destruction, loss, pain, disaster, and confusion. But remember, before a new cycle can begin, the old one has to come crashing down, okay? It's almost never a smooth transition. Something has to happen. And right, like what I'm going through right now is a perfect example of that. I know I'm winding down in this cycle. So, in fact, this cycle technically is already over, but there are certain people on it that simply don't want to believe it. So, it is what it is. This is for their edification as well as my own. At the bottom, well, we have the Eight of Cups. We pulled this one 3 times. So 3 times since I've started introducing tarot. Desire to leave something behind. Feeling abandoned. A need to escape. A need for strength. Possible travel or moving in the very near future. Okay. So, that is the energy for the tarot side of things. Now pull the oracle cards at the end. Now let's look at our runes. What is the present energy? Well, let me call upon Odin. I haven't called upon him yet. So I have already done my prayers and so on. I pray for concise, accurate, and clear understanding of the message that's being conveyed for the collective, that it edifies them, blesses them, and so on. Whether the news be good or bad, help us to understand our situation and to be able to navigate through whatever obstacles are put before us. And thank you. Woden, 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 Odin, Odin, Odin. I know it seems a little silly, but the ritual is important, okay? It adds energy to the overall energetic field that we're dealing with today. So the energy for today, perfect. Urus. I don't know if you can see, it looks almost like a U. In fact, it is the U in their alphabet. Of course, a U would be the other way around, but we don't want it that way. We want it in the upright. Okay, I actually have this tattooed on my chest. Now, Urus basically stands for strength, courage, vitality. The wild ox that's now extinct. It was a huge creature, very powerful. So that's where most of the attributes that are associated with it come from as well. Strong sexual desire, health, vitality. All these things are covered under Urus. So that is our present energy. You have everything you need, my friend. With Gibo as the overall weekly, with the god Tyre, with our past energy, and again, Gibo as our primary energy for the week. Well, we do have some obstacles, but again, I truly believe the obstacles that we found in Fihu in reverse, Freya's rune, for the pre-Tuesday pull, are for somebody else within your energetic field. Perhaps this person that's coming back to you. This person who wants to try to make amends, make you their plan B, in a sense. They probably will not tell you this, but that is indeed what their objective may be. Now, I can't speak for everybody out there. I can speak for me. And I do feel that it extends beyond me. So this is also going to, be affecting somebody else out there as well. The point is, we've been hearing for the last at least 3, almost 4 weeks now, that somebody is coming back from our past. That somebody is not going to be honest with us. That somebody is holding secrets. That somebody is not doing as well as they want you to believe that they are. That somebody is trying to basically fall back on you as a means of taking care of them in a codependent type of relationship. Now, none of us should be in a codependent relationship. We should be in a relationship not because we have need of their resources or what have you. We just choose to be with them. It's more painful to be away from them than it is to be with them. I'm given energy back from that person just by being with them. When everything is only about you giving and somebody else taking, that is not reciprocity. That is not a loving relationship. That's not a relationship that should last. And that's not to say that, during relationships, there's some times where one or the other is going to be able to give more than the other. Of course, that's normal. That's life. But when it becomes a everyday type of occurrence where you're the one giving, they're the one taking, that's a form of, enabling and so on. It's not a good place to be, okay? So that's an excellent room. Let's find out some of our influences for today, please. What are some of the influences for my collective for today as well? Well, we've only pulled out Urus maybe once in the last month since I started the station, so that's a good sign. right, so the other energy for today, Degas. Degas is a good one too. I'll write it down real quick. So, Degas is in the third family, or Ayat, whereas Urus is in the first family group, or Ayat. So what does Degas mean? Well, Degas basically is day, dawn, daybreak, transformation. Again, balance. We've seen that now in 3 sources. So balance is essential. And I told you, it's one of the things in our life that we are to achieve. Balancing our light with our dark. Not ignoring the fact that we have a dark side. Every one of us does. But harnessing it, using it, transmuting it to something positive. That's what I do. When something shitty happens to me, instead of getting in despair or whatever, I transform that into something. That's what this station is. This is me transmuting a negative situation into something positive. Okay? That's what alchemy actually is. You know, this whole thing that we hear about taking base metals like lead, making them into gold, there was a certain element of truth to that, sure. But that's not really what alchemy is. It's transmuting energy from one thing into something else that's more desirable. Okay? So keep that in mind. And that is a secret, by the way, of some of these secret societies and magical, groups and so on. You know, the things that I share with you, because I have their books. I have most of them, and I've read most of their books. So, not all of them, of course. That would take more than one lifetime. But I have read enough about them and the people that were, I guess you could say, the pioneers, such as Manly Palmer Hall and, Albert Pike in the Masonic world, and others, of course. Witchcraft. I've read all Anton LaVey's books. I think he put 3 books out. I've read Aleister Crowley's books. And even I don't agree with him. I don't subscribe to his overall worldview. I understand where some of his insights came from. And he was a genius on many levels. So he was just deranged. Okay? And he did have connections, like many of the occult groups do, to the intelligence networks of the world too. There is a very dark element that's attached to the espionage world, especially at the highest level. They are the eyes and the ears of the megalomaniacs who are keeping us all at odds with one another. Okay, so that's a whole nother story. And I will make videos on all that. Another influence, please. Another influence, please. Keep it positive. Keep it positive. Another influence. Thank you. All right. Well, we have Thor again. Only this time it's with the rose quartz rune. And it's in the upright. So, actually, no, it's not. It's in reverse. My bad. All right, so we've seen that once this week already. Yesterday I pulled it. Thor in reverse was for Friday. Okay, so now what it means in reverse, it's not particularly good. It means stubbornness, foolhardy, betrayal, danger, evil, and defenselessness. So again, I think that we are talking about this other party. Now, again, in your case, I don't know if it's the leader of some dark coven or occultic group, like it is in my case, who tries and have successfully, done certain things, including possibly ending people. So they use aggression to get the things that they want, or they try. Now, hopefully that's not the kind of situation you yourselves are finding yourselves in. But that's not to say that anybody under the right circumstances and wrong mindset can do a lot of damage. And things that are completely, both unprovoked and unsuspecting. So be careful. It's like we talked about yesterday. Be self-aware. Always check your corners and everything else using a military perspective. And it doesn't mean be paranoid. It's part of being a warrior. You're always self-conscious. You're always aware of your surroundings, even though you may be very relaxed and having the greatest time with your family, your kids, your lover, whoever, whatever, you know? It doesn't mean to be paranoid, to be always on the ready. It means to be a warrior. All right, now finally, let's look at our future energy. That's now till midnight tonight typically, but these are timeless readings. So it's whenever you see it till midnight, okay? Whether you're seeing it today, whether you're seeing it a week or a year from now. Energy that is for the future. Thank you. Future energy for the collective. Thank you. KNAS. I now have this one tattooed on my hand. Okay? Alright, so KNAS is also in the first 8, and this one is in the upright. Okay? So, what does KNAS mean? Well, KNAS means basically torch, and anything referring to fire in a lot of cases also has some connotation in terms of knowledge, okay? So that's what it's about, knowing, knowledge, vision, positivity, and a burning inside of you, for example, for knowledge, like for me. It's also dealing with creativity and so on, and that's why I have it, because I write, I do music, I'm doing this, and all these other things that I do. I do poetry, I do it all, so I'm not so good at drawing, but I try. So I'm always trying to create something. And that's what this is all about. So in order to have that, and the dark side doesn't have a sense of creativity. They steal. They will steal all of your ideas. They will steal your, undertakings right out from underneath you, because that's how they roll. Instead of actually spending the energy and trying to figure out how to do these things on their own, they'll wait for somebody else to do it, and they will try to procure those things from them, used in a very shady way. So again, I don't mean to make this completely negative, but there is a negative connotation to the energy that we're getting. Even though overall the energy is very positive, very good, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of luck and abundance and love for all of us, it does tell us to proceed with some level of caution, okay? And to be aware. All right, so that is the energy for as far as the runes are concerned. And so I don't forget this time, the first one I'm going to pull today is the Spirit Animal cards, okay? So these are the Spirit of the Animal Oracle by Judy Bergsma. Bergsma. B-E-R-G-S-M-A. Bergsma. That's an unusual name. I don't even know what culture that would be. Bergsma. Anyway, so let's go ahead. I haven't used these in friggin' ages. Let's go ahead and draw us a spirit animal. Let's see what they have to say to us. Whoop. Alright, spirit animal for today. We have the lizard. Okay? And the lizard is about regeneration. Talks about as a survivor, you are unparalleled. That's what a Viking wants to hear. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Adapt, improvise, overcome. That's a Marine motto. Embrace your transformation. We're all transforming daily, hopefully. Put on your new cloak, and you are a master of regeneration. That's pretty darn good. All right. Now let's finish up with a couple of hidden truth oracles and love. Hidden truth for my collective, please. There's some hidden truths for the collective, and thank you. What do they need to know? These things are still like shuffling bricks. hidden truths for my collective, please. What is it they need to know? And thank you. Hidden truths. Alright, one more. Okay. It's time for me to heal now. Well, that's very good. It's very, very good. Hopefully this person is watching and getting the message. They need to heal. Or somebody else is coming into your life. Maybe you need to heal. It's hard to say. It'd be different for each of you. But healing is a process that we all go through probably many, many times in our lives. You know, anytime that we're hurt in any way, shape, or form, physically, psychologically, spiritually, it creates a wound that we must heal from. We have to deal with it. We have to treat the wound first, just like you would if it was, you know, triage situation, you know, where you're dealing with a medical issue. Clean it, you know, and then repair the wound best you can, set the bone, suture up the opening, whatever the case may be. And then you have to go through the healing process. So it's no different in the spiritual walk, okay? You have to do all of those steps. So keep that in mind. All right, one more please for the collective. One more hidden truth, please. One more hidden truth, and thank you. One more time. Okay. Well, somebody says they love you unconditionally. Well, we have, like I said, more than one person coming in for us. One from the past, one from the future. Now, you're going to have to decide basically which one this actually represents, okay? They both may say it, but there's a good chance only one of them actually really means it. Now, somebody can actually feel something like this or believe they feel this way, but yet, you know, unless you've learned how to love yourself, you can't love another person. If you feel that you love them unconditionally and you're still very damaged, it could be more that it is, again, more of a, what's the situation I'm referring to? Codependent type of a situation. You know, you love the way that they make you feel, the way that they put you at ease or take care of you or provide for you and things of that nature. And that's not bad by itself, but if you don't know how to do that for yourself, then there's still an issue, and it's not actually love, okay? It's dependency. You have to learn how to do these things for yourself so that you can do it for another human being, okay? When they need it. Not if it's, you know, you're giving them their daily fix of goodness when they've done nothing for it. So, and there has to be reciprocity. So as far as what I mean by doing something for that love, you'll have to decide what that means for you individually, but that means that it's not always one side giving, one side taking, okay? And I don't mean just breadcrumbing you either. You are kings and queens out there. So that means you have to act that way. You have to expect a certain amount of respect back. And if they're not, you know, willing to give it to you, you don't demand it. You just either cut them out, you walk away, or whatever. Sure, it's fine to explain to them your point of view, but if they're not spiritually aligned with you, it may just fall upon deaf ears, and it may just provoke an argument or fight. That's not to say you shouldn't be honest. You should always be honest, no matter what. But not all people are willing or capable of receiving that honesty. So you have to be aware of that too. Again, so it all falls back down to being wise as serpents for all of us, no matter what we're doing. Okay. All right. One more, please. One more shuffle here for love. Give me a card for love for my collective, and thank you. We've seen this before, and it's right in line with what we've been talking about. The snake. It says somebody who's in competition with you, although they may not appear, they may be smiling in your face, they are an enemy. They're very clever. Satan himself comes as an angel of light. Remember that. They are very malicious. You want to look over your shoulder, and it could be the other woman. So this could be actually a third party we're talking about here, as well as the person that's coming back. So that person that wants to come back in your life, that want to tell you everything that is really going on, and they want you to believe that you are their one and only, your true love and all of that, they do have a third party. They may still be very much connected to them, maybe in some cases, like in mine, where they're actually married to this person. I'm not asking them to come back to me. I've made it very clear how I feel. I tried to help them just because out of kindness and everything else, because if I was in their shoes, I would want somebody to reach out to me, because they got nobody else that's really honest or willing to help them where they're at. They're surrounded by liars. They're surrounded by cheaters. They're surrounded by the most malicious of the malicious. So, I tried to give them a voice of reason, and, they mocked me and everything else, but now they're seeing the truth. So this may be your case as well. And that third party, okay? Maybe a third party involved who's very, very malicious, unhinged, not mature at all. Okay, the card said it, spelled it out. They're a snake. Can I get another one in love, please? Another card in love. So as you can see, even though these are love oracles, sometimes they warn us about people in terms of love too. This third party is attached to somebody else who may not tell you that they exist, but they do. And they're very upset. They're very hinged about them being or seeing or talking with you. So keep that in mind. Maybe that's why they keep cautioning you to be aware of your surroundings. All right, one more for love. Heartbroken. Yeah, we saw that before too. Okay, heartbroken. It says deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, and mourning. Well, I understand that. I do. And I do feel for them. I have empathy for them. And I hope you do as well. But that doesn't mean we're going to give in to their evil ways, that we're going to accept them back in their unhealed condition. They have to do the work just like you and I have to do the work. And if they're not willing to do that, that means they're trying to involve you in yet another, enabling, or what's the word I'm looking for? Just leave it at a third party type of relationship. And it's not going to be a healthy or conducive one for any of you. So if she's already made her commitment to somebody else and they're back, or he, and they're back at your door, then you tell them, to go back and speak to their spouse. That's who they should be talking to, not you. Okay? They made their decision. They walked away from you. Or perhaps you walked away from them. I did. But the point is that, now that they're knocking on your door and they haven't even closed the door in their last chapter, it's still wide open. So you're going to have all that karmic baggage that's following behind. Don't give in. I feel a very strong urge to tell you that, because otherwise it would just be me and I wouldn't say anything. But this is also affecting somebody else out there. So be careful, be cautious, watch your corners, but enjoy your time with your loved ones. Don't open the door back to somebody from your past, especially if they're still not healed, they're not honest. Okay? It's gonna lock you into a world of melodrama and garbage that you didn't sign up for. So let them deal with their own trauma, their own karmic meanderings, and then once they've healed and then they want to come back and talk to you, that's a different story. In the meantime, don't let them through their threshold. They're like vampires. They need your permission to come through that threshold. But once you give them that threshold permission, well, then they can do almost anything, especially if they're accomplished accomplished, I should say, at, siphoning other people's energies. There literally are spiritual vampires out there, okay? And this could be one of them. It may not be. You'll have to make that decision and determination for yourselves. I wish I could always end on a positive note, and I want to try to do that. So we have a lot of positive energy as far as transformation goes, regeneration. We have a lot of positive energy in terms of the end of a cycle. We have a lot of positive energy in terms of our creativity and that inner burning that we have to learn and to create. And that's how you're chosen too, by the way. It's one of the ways. And you also have, of course, the magic and the power of the gifting and being gifted. The reciprocity of exchange between partners, loved ones, and so on. And the material abundance that comes with both Tiwas, Gibo, Urus, Degas, and Kanaz. So a lot of very positive energy. So that's where I will end this reading, and I wish you all the very, very best. Okay? And remember, stay victorious. I'll see you all in Valhalla.